Hey everybody, Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So today I'm going to focus in on Vic again, not necessarily the case, but the man himself. In this time in which, people have been going after him and just basically trying to destroy this man's life, he's shown an incredible amount of courage and resolve in handling himself. While many of his supporters, including myself, have felt you know felt a lot of righteous indignation over what's been done to him and a lot of anger over the tactics used by the other side. He has continually called for his supporters to handle themselves peacefully and to treat each other and even treat their enemies with love and kindness. A very hard thing to do when you got a lot of anger stirred up, and it's very easy to get caught up in the battles. As he's pursued justice for the damage to his reputation, he has still managed to stay strong and stick to his convictions. He'll be in Times Square this weekend for a signing, albeit, from what I understand, the original spot Open Jar Studios decided not to have him after complaints from one of his detractors. Their loss. That's basically a lot of money that they just lost, but that's their choice, and everybody's got to live with their choices. But as Vic found himself a venue where he would be allowed to be there all day in Times Square, where his fans could come and watch him sign for a whole day as opposed to just a few hours or even a Saturday evening. This, of course, is all the result of him basically getting disinvited from Liberty City Comic Con. So basically, he'll be there this weekend. But throughout all this, he's been a pillar of strength. He as saddened as he is over the circumstances of how all this has come down, he has still remained strong in all this, and has continued to encourage his fans and his supporters to treat each other with love and kindness. As the Christian principle goes, as Jesus asked many of his followers to do. If they slap you on one cheek, give them the other. As Vic continues to pursue the suit and to recover the damages to his reputation by all this, he has still stayed strong, and he's had a lot of successes. They try to keep him out of Kamea-Con. That didn't work out. Anime Matsuri proved to be very successful. Many of the cons that he has been invited to this year, that he still has gone to and will go to, he's going to Bubba Fest in a couple weeks. He has continued to stay strong and continue to call for his supporters and followers to act with love and kindness. Even if the other side tries to bait you and tries to get you angry enough to say or do things you might later regret. For that, I think Vic is truly proven to be a good man. A good man, a good leader with a good heart. And I'm sure, as many people feel, he hates the fact that this is dividing the anime community. Contrary to what the other side will tell you. Contrary to the lies and the instigations that the other side will tell you, Vic has stayed strong, and he has relatively stayed quiet. Aside from the few times when he tried to do the classic PR moves, or even, his message has always been the same. He's been consistent. He stayed strong in his resolve that while we have discovered the other side continually changing their stories, lying, once they're caught in their lies, they'll change their story to try to fit the new narrative. Vic has stayed consistent. That should tell you something right there. Even if you have some of these law Twitter guys telling you otherwise because, oh, that's not how the law is interpreted. Well, the law argument becomes moot when you look at the facts. But Vic has stayed strong in his resolve. All the going back to I don't remember the name of the con, but it was a con in central Pennsylvania earlier this year. They reported no problems with him during his visit there. The other side tried to keep him out of Kamea-Con. They eventually let him back in, amidst a protest by some of his detractors. He had very long lines at Anime Matsuri. He had long lines in Puerto Rico. He had long lines in Ireland. Even if the anime conventions are disinviting him or not inviting him this year, many other conventions are. More general Comic-Con convention. He'll be at Bubba Fest in a couple weeks here. It's also slated to be at Hawaii Con. What we should take from what Vic is teaching us in this is how to handle adversity. There are, I think, 2 or 3 things that we need to really, really pick up on and follow his lead on, in how we handle ourselves, how we interact with each other, and how we interact with the other side. Stay strong and confident in your resolve. We all know that Vic is innocent. Vic is not the kind of man that they want us to believe he is. They keep saying, well, the voice actors know him better than anybody. I think anybody with any reasonable intelligence can judge for themselves by their own interactions what kind of a person they are, what kind of person people can be. I, for one, granted, I may not have been around him as much as other people, but from my interactions with him, I know he's not the kind of man that they say he is. Two, no matter how they bait you, don't retaliate hate for hate. It was Martin Luther King who reminded us of the biblical principle: violence begets violence, hate and to take that a little further, even though, because we're not talking as much about violence here, contrary, again, to the other side, talking about docs and all that. Violence begets violence, hate begets hate. So it's best not to engage with these people. Try to correct their faulty logic and factual biases where you can. But at the end of the day, if we all have to come to the realization that we're ultimately not going to change their mind. But do not return hate for hate. That's something Vic would want us to stay away from. Stay strong and resolved in your convictions. And do not return hate for hate. Those are the 2 lessons that we can take from this. Now, you can check the links below. You can always direct message me. My Twitter handle will be down there. You can always direct message me. You also see some of the stuff I'm promoting. I just added the Phoenix Animation as well. They're starting up company. And as always with the GoFundMe's, guys, don't ever feel pressure. Don't feel like you have to give. If it's on your heart to give, please consider giving. If you've already given, then and it's on your heart again, please consider giving again. And if you can't give, you can still help out by sharing the link. Don't let the other side tell you that this is a grift or whatever. If it's on your heart to help out, you have every right to help out. It's none of their damn business what you do with your money. So don't let that stop you. That's between you and whatever other entities that you wish to believe in. And if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always love the conversation, guys. But let me reiterate this because I just had to delete a comment yesterday that I found. Always keep it respectful. We can agree to disagree. We can agree peacefully, but always keep it respectful. If you start swearing or like using particular terms that are offensive, I will delete you. I will delete the comment. So keep that in mind. And if the one person who made the comment is watching, this is directed at that person. Because from what I understand, most people who are commenting are being respectful, and I appreciate that. And to those who are being respectful in their comments and their commentary, thank you. I always look forward, and as many of you have seen, I will answer your comments as best as I can. Whether or not you agree with me or not, as long as you're respectful, I will answer the comments. We should be able to have civil, intelligent conversations without burning each other down. If you feel like it's getting too hot, it's best to just step away. Because at the end of the day, you know, ultimately, you're not. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to necessarily change the other person's mind. Sometimes you might, if they're a reasonable person. But there are just some people out there that you just can't reason with. You have to respect that. It can get hard sometimes. There are times that you get a but that's human. That's all of us. But anyways, as I said, Vic is showing us how to handle adversity. And I thank him for that. I think we all should thank him for being a good example of how to handle adversity. So for those of you in New York, when you go see him, don't just thank him just for your experiences with him. Just don't thank him just for his work, but also thank him for being a good leader and being the example that we should all try to be. And until tomorrow, guys, let's keep the conversation going because you're on the mic.